Module trays, seed trays, there's just so many different varieties you can get online these days. And I thought to myself, what if there are people that don't want to buy stuff but actually reuse things that are commonly in our house? Let's look at different things we can use to start growing our vegetables. Hey, what is going on, fellow dreamers? Welcome to the Farm Dream. My name is Raymond, and today we're talking about module and seed trays, but then the DIY free version of that, because you can spend a lot of money on seed trays and module trays. I've been there, I've done the same, and today we're looking at what can we do for free. I'm going to start this list with a few things that we can just grab and use, and then go down the list and work our way all the way to the things that we have to put in some work, but then also gives a little bit better results. The first item you can use that you probably have somewhere is going to be the Tupperware bin. This is something that we actually have quite a few of because we like to make a little bit too much food and maybe put it in the fridge or in the freezer and eat it another day. So we have quite a few to spare as well. This is really easy to just add a fine layer of compost and germinate some seedlings, or what I also like to do is put in some paper towels and germinate my peas in here, because we can close this off completely and that will retain the moisture levels, and it's actually really good as a hot spot to start your seeds. So really happy with Tupperware bins. So if you have some laying around, a great addition to your seed starting. Next up is one that we have a lot of in the house, and that's going to be our Greek yogurt pots. We eat a lot of Greek yogurt. I'm just going to say it. We eat a lot of this, and we have a lot of these pots. Actually, everything in the back there's a lot of flower plants that we stick in there as well. This is great. We use it here for our propagation. These are some hot cayenne peppers that I've sown in here 2 weeks ago. They're actually already ready for transplanting, so I need to get to that as well. And then over here, we have some bell peppers. They're not germinating just yet, but putting the plastic back on top here, or put a lid on top, keeps the water inside, keeps the moisture inside, and these pots are just great. They're very sturdy, they will last a long time, and it's just a waste to throw them out, really. So I do want to say one thing again, holes in the bottom. Just make sure that your water can drain away, because if it clogs in there, it can kill your seedlings so easily. Seedlings usually don't want to be overwatered continuously. The water needs to be able to drain. So really great pots these, really like them. Greek yogurt pots or any other pot that used to contain food and you now have to throw away. All right, let's move on. Next to the yogurt and the Tupperware bin, we also have a few other things that we can actually create ourselves. And one that I like a lot is this milk carton. And it is a really easy design. All you have to do is cut off the top and you can start planting in there already. The great thing about the milk carton is that it's in line with some aluminum foil, and that way it keeps the moisture away from the cardboard and it stays rigid. So you can use this actually multiple times. I also like to use some drill bits and poke some holes in the bottom just to make sure that water can drain out, because you can of course leave it, but just don't overwater then. But if you put some holes in there, excess water will always drain away and you will never overwater your plants. So I really like this design, and I think if you have a few different cartons, different styles, you can put them next to each other and it will give a really creative look. All we have to do to make this is grab a milk carton, pick a line and start cutting away. This way we can decide how high it should be. I'm aiming to about 7.5 to 10 centimeters or 3 to 4 inches. Cut all the way around and it's done. All right, let's move on to the next. Now next to the milk carton, we also have the egg carton. And I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty cool. Now there's many different ways you can use your egg carton. Over here, I just opened up the top, I cut it open and just planted my seeds in there, which is a great way of doing it. And there's a lot of compost in here, so you can actually grow plants quite big in here. And that's a good advantage of doing it this way, because the other way, this is the other way we can do it, but I'm not the biggest fan. This is a big tray and we can fit in a lot of seeds, but it gets really soft and soggy really easily. This almost tears apart. After watering, there's almost nothing left of it, and also very little compost can go in. So it is something that you could do, but it will be short term, because this is gonna decompose quite quickly. Especially the egg cartons, they decompose really fast. I got one more, let me show you. And that's gonna be this over here, a 6-egg basket, and it works out a little bit better. It's a little bit more sturdy than the other one. I think the cardboard is just a little bit thicker, so that helps out. And we can fit quite a lot of compost in here, so it works out. This is some beetroot. It's been sown in here and it's growing in here. It does need to be transplanted, but it's way too early in the season. I just did this as a test to see how my seeds were doing, so the germination rates are good, so I know that now. But yeah, this is what you can do with egg cardboard as well. Opening the egg box is going to be as easy as you think it will be. We just grab a pair of scissors and we cut open the top. I like to start on the sides and then cut one line through the middle and fold it open. It is okay to cut away the entire part if you want to. That will let in a little bit more light, but I do like the aesthetic when the flap is still a little bit open. All right, let's move on. Now there's one more thing in your house that you will probably have plenty of, and that's gonna be toilet rolls. Over here, I've got a nice tray filled with radishes and beetroot, and this is in toilet rolls, believe it or not. Underneath here is a toilet roll, and the good thing about toilet rolls is that they're actually the right size for seedlings. A lot of seedlings will require about a 4 centimeter or 3.5 centimeter cell size, and that's exactly what these are. And if you cut them to about 5 centimeter in height, you have the perfect module tray. So I'm actually gonna use this. I thought of this video and I thought I'd just look up what I can do, but this is actually a great idea, and I'm just gonna leave it as it is, and I'm gonna grow vegetables like this because we always throw out our toilet rolls and I just think it's a waste. Now there's one more way we can do this, but before you get to that, you can always leave these longer and now cut them in half. Cutting them in half gives them about a 4.5 to 5 centimeter height, which is for me enough compost to go in there. If you grow in like beans or stuff like that, you might want to leave them a little bit longer, but for beetroot, leeks, well, radishes, as you can see, just leave it like this. Half them, give them about 5 centimeter in height, and that is perfect. So this is a proper module tray. Really happy with this one. Now to make this is going to be really easy. We're just going to grab a toilet roll and cut it in half. That is really all there's to it. I know this was obvious, but I just had to explain it anyway. Grab a toilet roll, cut it in half, and make as many as you want. There's actually one more thing that we can do with toilet rolls, and this is something I actually found today on another guy's channel, and I'll leave a link in the description. He's from Belgium though, he speaks Dutch, but this is a great design. So basically it is a toilet roll, but it's been capped at the bottom, and the way he did that is basically by cutting it in a little bit and then folding it back onto each other, leaving it in some water for a bit, and then when it firms up again, it's actually quite sturdy. All you gotta make sure to do is really push the soil in there so it creates a strong bottom, and then just go a little bit loosely on the top with the soil again, but firmly at the bottom. I really like this design. It is really simple but very effective, and when this dries up a little bit better, actually quite sturdy as well, so your soil, your compost won't fall out anymore, which will happen with these. But then I must say, if we pick one of these up, it's pretty sturdy. It is pretty okay, definitely because the roots stay in there and they actually, well, they do a good job at keeping it together. But this one, great as well. Definitely can make a module tray out of it by connecting more together. Maybe just add a string of tape around it or something like that, or put it all next to each other, maybe on something like this or something else. But I really like this design, so I just wanted to include that. Yeah, cardboard toilet rolls. To make this will be a little bit more difficult, but not that hard. We're gonna grab a toilet roll and push it flat and then fold it in half. This way we will find the seams where we need to cut. We're first gonna cut out the outer sides, and we're gonna cut in about 1.5 centimeters or 1/2 inch. Then by folding it open a little bit, we can find the last seam where we need to cut. Again, 1.5 centimeters, and then we're done. Fold it back open again and push the flaps in on themselves. Now this is where the trick comes in. We grab the toilet roll and put some water on the table and stick it in there. Then I like to add a little bit of water to the top to really soak the cardboard. Give it a little push down, wait a few seconds, and get your fingers in there and push down on the cardboard. Set it aside for about 24 hours and it's done. And that's the video for today. I thought I'd just share a few different ways you can create your own seeding tray, because it is the start of the season and we do want to get all our plants in as early as we can. Doing that inside is a great advantage, but if you don't want to buy a seed tray or a module tray, here are some great options. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, leave a like, consider becoming a Patreon and helping out the channel, and don't forget to lift the foundry. I lost my lighting.